Well, hi everyone. I'll take my glasses off actually. I'm quite blind as a bat without them, but I just thought I'd do this little vlog really. I've not done a vlog quite like this one for a while. Done loads of driving videos, and I've got all these plans of, you know, sort of going to do lots of adventures and what have you. And I'm very conscious that, you know, when I started this whole thing, it was partly about sharing a huge portion of my life. I mean, I don't think anyone shares everything that they do in their life on YouTube. Well, I mean, some people might, but that's not quite what I was doing. But I did sit down yesterday and I put together in here a list of videos that I wanted to go and do. And I was quite keen that I didn't want to go away during the summer holiday for two reasons. First of all, I wanted to spend time with the children, and I didn't want to be sort of dragging them around and trying to do videoing, because although, you know, with the best one in the world, you know, Noah, my little helper, I mean, he's absolutely wonderful and brilliant, but there are some videos that just don't interest him and excite him. And if we're going to do something and he's coming along for the ride, then that's great. But if it's a sort of more serious video, he's not really sort of that engaged with it. I suppose that's understandable because, you know, he's 12, and for him, you know, middle-aged man sat in the car talking isn't that exciting, is it? But I was very conscious. This is what I really wanted to share. I was very conscious that when I kicked off the channel really properly 9 weeks ago, 9 weeks, it's been quite intense, because you see, I originally came up with the idea for the Daily Pilgrim channel as something else, and that was 7 years ago. And I sort of played around, and I did some appalling videos, if I'm honest. A couple sort of survived the test of time, and then it must have been about 3 years ago when the separation happened. That's when I really thought, you know, I'd like to give this a go. But I was so busy trying to get my head round everything that was going on that I didn't record a lot of those early memories and early moments. And then it must have been about 18 months ago really that I started to invest in equipment and was starting to play with the idea far more as a sort of a research and development angle. And then I sort of, again, I had the idea of doing it about a year ago, sort of really to get it launched forward, but we were still in that research and development stage. And all of a sudden, 9 weeks ago, after buying more and more equipment and investing more and more on online tools, other resources, learning materials, suddenly I got swept with this inspiration to get on with it and do it. And within 48 hours, I designed and put up the website, and I'd gone and made the little video, which was sort of the welcome to the channel video, which is also on my Patreon account as well. And after starting to create, well, after sort of creating that initial hub, I started to create lots of different little videos, some driving, a couple of vlogs, a couple of the little adventures, and I was really trying to work out the things that I wanted to do and I wanted to share on the channel, and also just things I wanted to do myself. And it's been a huge learning experience for me. It has been quite cathartic as well, but what it's really been is a chance for me to look at myself and think, well, okay, you know, I wanted to recreate myself. I've started to do it. I've gone down this path. Actually, how am I doing? You know, am I happy with the route that I've taken? You know, are there things that I want to change? And I think the biggest thing for me is that the way in which I've been trying to share videos or create them and put them together, is I've been so focused on somehow performing to the camera, because I wanted to try and not copy, but I wanted to repeat the success that other YouTubers have had, people within my own little niche, that I didn't really take a moment to find my own style. Now, apparently, I've actually found my own style. So somebody told me recently, more through the podcasting than through the YouTube, I will admit, but I have sort of started to find my own style. I've also started to become rather lustful for more expensive cameras and other bits and pieces of audiovisual equipment. But apart from that, I have got quite a bit of kit, and I'd really like to get the usage out of it as much as I could now. Something quite major that happened to me this last week. It's been sort of a little mini journey over the last 3 weeks, really, but the last week it's come to a head. I mentioned on the podcast the last couple of weeks, and I think I've mentioned it on here on YouTube as well, that I was taking this little cottage studio thing in Cheltenham. And it started off with a small cottage, and then within a few days I was offered the chance to move into this coach house in the same place, part of this guest house, like motel place. And I spent a night there in the new place, and something didn't quite sit right, and I couldn't put my finger on it. I then had 2 nights back at home with Helen, and then I had another night where I spent with Noah at the coach house. And so many things started to sort of come forward, and I realised that it just wasn't right for me. And I think there were 2 reasons for this. Partly the actual shape, style, layout, whole dynamics of the sort of estate as a whole, not to mention the actual cottage itself. There were things that weren't right for me. But the second thing was that the amount of money that it was costing, that money could be far better spent, I thought, on other things. Or even not to have the pressure of earning that money in the first place. And I think, that there's an idea that has been, put around for years that, we go to work, and the reason that we go to work is to earn money, and then what we spend that money on is a house that we're never in, a car that we use to travel to and from our place of work, and clothes to wear to that place of work. Whereas actually, if you didn't go to work, a lot of those bills would suddenly disappear. Now, yes, we still have to live somewhere, and we still have to earn money for food and things like that. We certainly have to feed ourselves, but I think for me, more than anything, I just couldn't help but feel I was working extra hard, putting more pressure on myself to have something that I didn't value, as in this new place. So I was quite fortunate that it was only a month at a time. It wasn't a long-term contract, it was just a rolling month. So I gave my notice yesterday. And I was very nice about it. I didn't want to cause any arguments. Oops. I was very nice about it. I didn't want to cause any arguments or anything. But I just said, I wasn't. It wasn't for me. There were some things I was unhappy with, but I think let that go. The point is that I really needed to draw a line under it. And I know in the podcast last week I said, it's only through your failures that you really find success. You've got to try things. And it's only when these negative things happen that you look at the good bits and realise just how positive they are. And I think for me, that very much the case. I really did need this very negative experience, really just to realise, what I've got. So I think that really is the reason that, for me, I'm taking a slightly new direction now, or should I say I'm refining the direction. I have decided to, you know, just be sensible and stay over in Oxford. There are some lovely cameras that I want to buy, but I'm being sensible and not buying them because they wipe me out for starters. And I think just something about trying to find this simple life. I know that previously I said, you know, other people have looked for a simple life, and I couldn't do that because I didn't have a simple life. It was complicated, but I think the time has come now to simplify it. I have decided to take a real look at my work and my outgoings and my businesses, and really say, what do I not want to do anymore? You know, what can go? What do I not want to spend money on anymore? And I think by doing that, it'll focus me on the things that I do want to do, such as the YouTube and the podcasting. I do really want to make a go of this. But also just having the time to be able to do it. So that's really all I wanted to say on this one. So it was just a little vlog of bits and pieces that have happened in the last week and the way I've been feeling. So I thought I'd share this. Thanks indeed for watching and coming along for the journey. Yeah, thanks very much appreciated. I will see you on the next one, and I'll say bye-bye for now.